Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's worship our teacher, Kiribantho Jnananda Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, today we're going to talk one of the beautiful Dhamma talk, which is directly connected to our life, which begins the path of enlightenment. Without having this thing in your life, or without trying to gain in this your life, Dhamma path will not be walked by us, or will not be practiced by us entirely. In the Supreme Buddha's Dhamma, it mentioned that this only one path leads to the enlightenment, and Buddha gave it a name of Eightfold Path. So this Eightfold Path is divided in three categories: wisdom, virtue, and concentration. So Supreme Buddha explained this path begins with the wisdom, and that name, Supreme Buddha says, right view. What is it? Right view. So today we're going to learn what is the right view. What is the Sammādiṭṭhi? So today we are going to discuss the Sutta. It is from the Middle Length Discourses in Majjhima Nikaya, the Sutta number 9. Sammādiṭṭhi Sutta. So today we're going to discuss about it in most of the time. Okay, I will say one paragraph. I will try to explain, and then we will discuss on it and how much we understand or what we think about it. Okay. So Sutta is Evam Me Suttan, thus I have heard. At one time, the Buddha was staying near Sammādiṭṭhi in Jeta's grove, Anathapindika's monastery. Sariputta Bhante addressed the monks, said, Reverend monks or also, and the other Bhantes replied to him, Yes, Bhante, or Sariputta Bhante. Sariputta Bhante explained to the Sangha, or says to Sangha, Reverends, they speak of this called right view. How do you define a noble disciple who has a right view, whose view is correct, who has experiential confidence in the teachings and has come to the true teaching? So the Supreme Buddha, Sariputta Bhante, this entire sutta given by Sariputta Bhante, what he says that Arya Savako Sammādiṭṭhi hoti means how someone becomes the Sammādiṭṭhi, Ujugatasa, who has come on the right path. Dhamme aveccha prasadena samannāgatu means unshakable confidence on Dhamma. Does not wave on the path of Dhamma. He has complete concentration on Dhamma, or completely establishes himself on the Dhamma. Agato imang saddhamanti means who has entered, who has come into the path of enlightenment, who has begun the journey of enlightenment. So when Sariputta Bhante asked other monks that how someone becomes something like that time the other bhikkhus who replied him as a Bhante also, they said to him, Bhante, Duratopi ko mayang auso agacheyam. Bante, we have come from long, when we have come from very far to listen. This is the particular thing that Sariputta Bante will explain or should explain to us, that what is this or what is this right view. So as the Bante explained to us, we will listen and we will keep in our heart, keep in our mind. So the Sariputta Bante said, okay, listen now, I'm going to explain to you. So Sariputta Bante explains, a noble disciple understands the unskillful and its roots and the skillful and its roots. When they have done this, they are defined as a noble disciple who has right view. So the first thing about right view to understand is, when a noble disciple understands the wholesome and the root of the wholesome, the unwholesome and root of the unwholesome, in the way he is the one of right view. So the understanding the one particular thing, what is wholesome and what is its roots, what is unwholesome and what is its roots. So having completely understand by a person, like in our day-to-day life, that we understand what is wholesome and unwholesome is, what is beneficial for us and what is beneficial not for us. But Sariputta Bante did not say just only wholesome and unwholesome. What did he say? What is the roots of wholesome and unwholesome? So it's not only just what is good or bad, but what is the reason behind good or bad? Understanding the full process of it. Understanding the what is the wholesome and unwholesome, and what is the roots of unwholesome and wholesome. Sariputta Bante said, only understanding that much, completely understanding what is the roots of it. So Sariputta Bante said, that is enough for you. You can call such a person that he is on the right view, who is straight on the path, who has perfect confidence in Dhamma and has arrived at the true Dhamma. Then Sariputta Bante explains what? He explains, and what friends is unwholesome and what is the root of unwholesome. So Sariputta Bhatti did not stop only by saying that, okay, this is wholesome and unwholesome and roots. He explains what are those. He explains, killing living beings is unwholesome. So when we say what is unwholesome things, the first thing Sariputta Bhatti explained, killing living beings means understanding who is alive, knowing that this creature, this being is living, alive, and developing consciousness, developing idea in your mind that I want to destroy this being, I want to kill this being. So by doing that, having thought or doing by himself, doing actions or telling someone to do something like that, by his word, this living being is destroyed or killed. So by that way, this being is dead. So that called killing living beings. So the first thing, what is unwholesome, is to destroy or to destroy the life. So Sariputta Bhante says, killing living beings is unwholesome. Taking what is not given to us, it is unwholesome. So stealing, and without permission or without trust, taking someone's things, which is considered as a stealing by himself or another, doing such actions, Sariputta Bhante said, this is unwholesome. Then third thing, Sariputta Bhante said, misconduct in sensual pleasure. So the woman is protected by someone, by mother, by father, by brother, by the family, by clan, or in this way. So going beyond their permission and taking advantage of others or having sexual misconduct, Sariputta Bhante says that is unwholesome. going beyond your partner, cheating on someone, that is unwholesome. Third one is telling lies, false speech is unwholesome, which is not truth. We know very well that this is not truth, but just to tell someone, we speak such a words. We deny of knowing such a things. Sariputta says that is unwholesome. Harsh words, strong words that we use to hurt someone. Pisunavacha. We use such a words which very hurtful for others. Because we know that if someone hear those words, then that person will be hurt. Knowing such a thing, we use those words, Sariputta Bhante explained, that is unwholesome. Divisive speech means dividing other people, that we know that we listen from this way and we tell someone else. This is the thing you hear from here, and telling others what had happens. The conflict arises in two people. The gap arises in two people. And because of that, people are divided. So, Sariputta Bhante explained, such a word is also divisive speech, means unwholesome things. Then Sariputta Bhante explained next, meaningless words, gossip. Sariputta Bhante explained, if someone engage himself in gossip, such a person, that is unuseful. Just saying something without any meaning, just to kill the time. And it is not beneficial for him or not beneficial for anyone else. It's just developing our mind in some different things. Sariputta Bhante explained, that is also unwholesome. Ill will is unwholesome. Wrong view is unwholesome. This is called the unwholesome things. Then Sariputta Bhante explained, and what is the root of unwholesome? So these all things, that killing beings, stealing, sexual misconduct, then telling lies, harsh words, divisive speeches, gossip, ill will, and wrong will. All these things has the roots. And what is the root for unwholesome? Sariputta Bhante explained, greed is a root for unwholesome. Because of greed, if someone is possessed by greed, these all unwholesome thoughts and all the things he do by his body, his words, and his mind, because of influence of greed. Hate is the root of unwholesome. Because of hatred, because of his mind is possessed by hate, the person acts on unwholesome things. He misconduct his body, misconduct by his words, and misconduct of mind. Delusion is the root of unwholesome. Because of deluded mind, that this is me, this is myself, or having the view that only, okay, I have to live in this world for short time of period, and there is no consequences of it. Do whatever you want, enjoy your life, and move on. Having such a view, it is also the delusional mind. Sariputta Bhante explained, this is the roots of unwholesome. So all we do in our life, whatever the bad things we do, whatever the unwholesome actions we take, what is the reason behind this? The greed, hatred, and delusion. These three things are root for unwholesome things. So whatever is happening, whatever you do by your day-to-day life, whatever precepts you break, whatever you do, you act on these unwholesome things, always remember, because of your mind was influenced by this greed, hatred, and delusion, you have act on this. So if you want to cure, if you want to take care of this, your misbehavior in your life, which is harmful for you, which is harmful for others. If you want to take care of such a thing, then what you have to do, you have to think of the roots that I was influenced by it because of greed, because of hatred, and because of delusion. So let me think of this. When you steal something, what was the intention of your stealing? What thought you had in your mind? Think of that and then take care of it. So be mindful of, I'm not going to give up in this grade. So next time when it happens, you will be aware of it and stealing won't happen with you. If you don't give yourself in lust or greed or hatred, then you will never kill beings. You will never steal something. You will never engage in sexual misconduct. You will never lie to anyone else. You will never try to divide another person. So the Sariputta Bhante explained, understanding unwholesome, understanding the root of unwholesome. It's not only just to act on unwholesome things. It's not only understanding the unwholesome, but it is to understanding the roots of it. Then Sariputta Bhante explains, and what is wholesome? Abstaining from killing beings, abstaining from taking. What is not given is wholesome. Abstaining from sexual misconduct, it is wholesome. Abstention from false speech is wholesome. Abstain from harsh speech is wholesome. Abstain from gossip is wholesome. Abstain from divisive speech is wholesome. Not having ill will, non-ill will is wholesome. Right view is wholesome. This is called the wholesome. So, opposite of wrong view or opposite of unwholesome, Sariputta Bhante explained what is wholesome. So understand what is the wholesome in a right view. When it explains the right view, what is the right view? That there are two different divided in the right view. One is called the worthy right view. One is called Lokottar, means the noble right view. So worldly right view is the base for attaining the noble right view. So once you have the worldly right view, then you can progress something. So I think you all know what is the worldly right view. That believe on there is a result of giving. Believe of there is a result of helping someone. Believing that there is a result of sacrifice. Believing there is a mother is a special, the father is a special. Then all the good and bad what we do, or all the result or happiness and suffering is result of our bodily actions, worldly actions, mental actions. So whatever we suffer, it's a result of our own actions, having belief of that. Then there is this world, there is another world, and there are beings who born spontaneously. There are teachers who realize this world and another. Realizing them, they go beyond those. They detach themselves and teach the path to how to get rid of this world, how to detach ourselves and liberate ourselves from this world. There are teachers who taught the Dhamma. So having this view, it's called the worldly right view. Trusting, believing in these things is called worldly right view. So whenever you think of Dhamma, whenever you have thoughts of Dhamma, always thinks, are these things is exist in me? Am I believing in the giving? Am I believing in helping someone? Am I believing in sacrifice? Am I believing in there is a mother, there is a father, there is a result of good and bad actions? All the time thinks of that. You know, for monks, Supreme Buddha explained there are 10 things monks should remember every day, chant every day, and contemplate in his life. Or am I thinking of this? One of that is Kamma Sakomi, Kamma Dayadu, Kamma Bandhu, Kamma Yoni, Kamma Patisarana. Yang Kammam Karisami, Kalyanan va Papakam va Tassa Dayadu Bhavisamiti. Pabbajitena bhinyang pachavekitapa. That I am being of karma. I am the owner of my karma. My birth is the karma. My brothers is karma. And my refuge is karma. All the good or bad thing I do, I have to face the result of it by happiness or suffering. The monks should contemplate constantly or all the time. Every day he thinks of this. Monk should think continuously. So when you living it your life, when you are enjoying these words, always have this thought in your mind that my actions, whatever I am doing today, I will face the results of it. I have to face the consequences of it. Just have that in your mind. And you will find that when this thing is in your mind, your actions is always little bit more pushing you toward goodness. The wholesome actions taking it will be very easier. And Sariputta Bhante explained, then what is the root of wholesome? Sariputta Bhante explained, non-greed is root of wholesome. Non-hate is root of wholesome. Non-delusion is root of wholesome. See, so when you feel that these days, today, tomorrow, or this moment, when you are not breaking any precepts, when you do not have any ill will toward anyone, when you are not in the wrong view, that time, see your mind, see yourself, what mental state you have, and you will find these roots, these things. Because in that moment, when you are practicing, when you are being good, that time you do not have the greed. You do not have hatred. You are not in delusion in that moment. And because of that, your life in this moment, you are practicing virtue perfectly. See, that is the roots. So whenever you think of Dhamma, when you practice, when you say that I am practicing Dhamma, always things, not only just bodily actions, not only just verbally actions, but the roots of this unwholesome, roots of the wholesome. Think of that. Sariputta Bhante explained, when the noble disciple has thus understood the unwholesome, the root of unwholesome, the wholesome and the root of the wholesome, he entirely abandoned the underlying tendency to lust, abolished the underlying tendency of aversion, he extirpates the underlying tendency of the view and conceit, I am. And by abandoning ignorance and arousing the true knowledge, he here and now makes an end of suffering. So the Sariputta Bhante explains that understanding this wholesome and unwholesome, roots of unwholesome and wholesome, what he does, he conquers, he go beyond this and comes to the knowledge, true knowledge. And by that knowledge, what he does, where he used this knowledge to end of suffering. Supreme Buddha explained, in that way too, a noble disciple is on the right view. So, having that knowledge only, which is helpful to end the suffering, to get rid of the delusion that I am having that thought. Sariputta Bhante explained, such a person comes on the path of that. This is the first right view. Means you can say that this is the first way to come on the right view. Entering in the right view. Isn't it beautiful? It is. So, whenever you think that, whenever you hear, whenever you read a right view or Sammādiṭṭhi, Sammasankalpa, Sammavaca, so every time when you go for the Eightfold Path, and whenever the thought comes that this is the right view, always think how to enter in this right view, how to come in the stream. Because so Supreme Buddha explained, who has the right view, that person is Sotapanna, the stream enterer, the first step of enlightenment, the first fruit of enlightenment. So, come into the, or entering into the path, coming into the path of enlightenment, that is very important for us, very beneficial for us. So, how to enter into the path? By knowing, completely understanding, having knowledge of what is unwholesome and what is wholesome. What is roots of unwholesome and what is roots of wholesome. Completely understanding that, Sariputta Bhante explained, such a person is on the right view, who come into perfect confidence in Dhamma. There is no wavering, there is no doubts of Dhamma. Entirely understands Dhamma and has arrived at the true Dhamma, who has entered into the path of stream. So this is the first one. You guys understand? So Sariputta Bhante has explained more than close to 16 ways to enter into this path, to attain the Sammādiṭṭhi. Okay, so this is the first way. This is the first way how to attain the Sammādiṭṭhi. Okay, so there is no doubt regarding this. There is no discussion.
Ante, I got a question.
Yes.
What is the roots then of greed, anger, and delusion?
What is the roots of that?
Because that I know the roots of the wholesome and the unwholesome.
Yes.
But then it goes, what's the roots of greed, anger, and delusion then?
It's called avidya, ignorance. Ignorance is the roots of this all. Paticca Samutpada begins with ignorance. Ignorance is the thing that gives the lust, the boost. You know the iron that we do for our clothes? Yeah. When it is hot, can we touch that? No. But if we don't know that this is hot, what will we do? We go and touch it, So if we know that, we do not do any wrong things. Ignorance is something like that. But when we have a knowledge that this can burn us, this can cause the suffering or pain in our life, then we avoid try to do that things. But in our day-to-day life, we still have these thoughts that, okay, these things are bad, these things are not good for us. But we all act on that. The reason is that the ignorance is still exists in us. We are just thinking of today's condition, not the whole journey of samsara. That's why. So the Supreme Buddha's simple answer is the ignorance is the roots for all this suffering. So the lust, hatred, delusion, ill-will, jealousy, these all things comes because of ignorance. Okay, Matthew?
Oh, I don't want to go deeper, but is there roots to ignorance?
Yes, there is a roots for ignorance also. Reason is that not understanding the suffering, not knowing that which condition you are exist in. Once person knows that I am suffering, then such a person try to gain the knowledge. Like simple thing, here in India, we have a lot of illiterate people. Okay, so they do not learn anything. They don't study. But when they go to any shop or whatever they want to buy or sell something, if they got cheated by someone, then they understand, oh, I got the I lost so much money. Then I should understand, okay, let me understand what is the calculation is, how much is this and how much is that. So understanding that I am in suffering, seeing that, okay, here I am suffering. On that moment, he tried to think of, let me go beyond this. Let me try to find the way. So for the cause for ignorance, you can say not knowing that you are suffering.
Ante, if I understood that obtaining right view means someone has obtained the stream entry, sotapanna, you unwavering from that point.
Yeah.
And I also understand to reach that degree of confidence, one must have some kind of experience of the deathless.
Yes.
And I guess I was trying to understand, like when you lay out right view, I can embrace that out of faith, but I'm under the impression that there's a further step or work than just embracing right view out of faith in order to gain that unwavering confidence. I guess I could still be directed away, you know. Maybe you could speak a little to that.
Yeah. So this is the one way to do that, but not everyone is understandably okay. But there are 16 different places that Sariputta Bhante explained how to attain the right view. So once this entirely finished, once we discussed all the faculties or part, one of that will be directly related to your life. So you can work on that, not just because there are different rivers to enter in the ocean, you know, not only just this one river it takes to the ocean. Ocean is the path of Dhamma or entirely, but one path is that come to this right view is knowing wholesome and unwholesome. But with the how you can attain that has a different ways. So this is the one that we talk. Once we finish this entire sutta, then we will talk about that how with the faith someone can become the stream enterer. So the next one, monks asked Sariputta Bhante, saying, "Good friend, the bhikkhu delighted and rejoiced in Venerable Sariputta's words. Then they asked him a further question. Bhante, might there be another way in which a noble disciple is one of right view?" So there is another way, Sariputta Bhante explained. There might be. Yes, there is. And then Sariputta Bhante explained, when a friend, a noble disciple understands nutriment, the origin of nutriment, the cessation of nutriment, and the way leading to the cessation of nutriment, in that way, he is one of right view and has arrived at the true Dhamma. So the second one is understanding what we eat, the food. Nutriment, just you can say the food. So the noble disciple understand what is the food, the origin of food, the cessation of food, and leading to the cessation of food. So Sariputta Bhante divided it beautifully and he explained. And what is nutriment? What nurture us? What give us the strength to survive or live in this life? Sariputta Bhante explained. there are these 4 kinds of nutriments for the maintenance of being that already have come to be, and for the support of those seeking a new existence. So, nutriment, the food, is to support this body, to sustain this body, that who has already born in this world. And for those also who are seeking a new body, or who are coming to birth, for both people, who is already born and who is coming to birth, for these both people, there are 4 foods, 4 nutriments. This Sammādiṭṭhi Bhante explains. And what 4? There are physical food as a nutriment. So, first one is physical one, which is gross and subtle food. Second one is called contact. Second food is contact. Third one is mental violation as a third, and the consciousness as a fourth. So these are the 4 Sammādiṭṭhi Bhante explained. So the first one is called Kabalinkar Ahar. Kabalinkar means what we see, we can feel the food. We take bite by bite, we as a rice or the burgers, bread, and all the things what you see outside, all the food you eat to sustain your body, to give nutrition to your body, to live, to have strength. Every food that you eat is called the first. Understanding these nutriments, this food is one that's sustaining me. There is a one question, whenever someone becomes a noise monk, he has to give some answers, or he has to understand the reason of this question and answer. That called the Sammādiṭṭhi. And there is asked, what is the Ek Naam King? What is the first question? Then answer is the Sabbe Satta Aharatittita. Means every being is sustained by food. Every being is dependent on food. That is the answer for first question. What is the one question? It means every being. There is no being exists in this world. Not in hell, not in the elemental world, not in the ghost world, not in heavenly world. There is a being that who does not sustain on food. Every being in every life, every lifespan, every person, every creature exists on depending on food. So, by understanding the food, it also takes us to right view. Understanding that. So, the first one is it's subtle food that we every day we eat. That which we all the time say, mind your diet. Don't put so much weight. If you want to get rid of your weight, then mind that. Do dieting and everything. So if someone is very overweight, this is there, and that time that person thinks, okay, let me lose some weight. What he does, whatever that person is eating, thinks of the calories, how much calories I am having, how much I am eating, what I am drinking, how much sugar I am taking. Doesn't that person become aware of that? Goes by book, everything he writes it down. For what? To lose some weight. Same ways Supreme Buddha explained, not to mind the food, but to understand the food. Know that this food is the thing that I am surviving on. Realization of that. Understanding this body is survived on food. That is the first one that I am taking properly. Second one is called contact. Everything, whatever we touch, like what we are looking through, means our eyes. When we see the someone in front of us, so our eye and the rupa, outside rupa, the vision, when it contacted, when it connected, then the consciousness arises in our mind. So our eye, that rupa, and the contact of that arises. If someone says a good word to us, doesn't we become delighted? Doesn't it makes us happy? It does. How this? Because of hearing that contact, the pastor, the touching, the contact is there. That thing. When the good thoughts arise in us, what happens? Our lifespan extends. They say that if you want to live a long, that laugh a little bit, laugh a lot. Then your life will be good. So that is also having good thoughts. You can laugh only when you are happy, or when you have the good thoughts in your mind. So knowing that you want to be happy, so you are laughing a lot. Then that is also contact. From when you see your kids, when you talk, when you see your wife or husband, and then when you have the good conversation with them, doesn't that make you happy? Yes, it does. So that is also contact. The phassa is there. The contact is there. Supreme Buddha explained all the contact we make in our day-to-day life, all the contact we do in our world, that thing keep us alive, keep us sustained, gives us power to travel. There is a thing, one scientific experiment was there. They closed down one person in, there is no voice, not a single bit of voice you can hear. 99% of that they have erased the voice. So the void chamber they put in that person, and what happened? Within 2 minutes, that person started to get crazy. So even for our voice also, if we do not have any contact, if we don't hear any voice, what happens? Our life drives crazy. See, when you are separated from your beloved one, how you feel? That because not having contact with someone, what, see, you guys have the kids. If you don't see your kid that day, how you feel? That where is my kid? You get worried all the time. But every day, if you knew that your kid is okay, is studying well, doing work well, and you see that person all the time, or that kid talk with you, it's good. How you feel? Your day is very better than if your kid is not talking with you. If someone is angry in your family, how you feel? Those are contact. There is a connection between these people. There is connection between this world. And if you don't have that connection, even you are having a food, your life won't go as you wish. So Sariputta Bhante explained in this sutta, understanding the contact, nutriment, this contact, this touch, this physical contact, it's also food to sustain this body. This is also food to survive. And all the beings in this world, every being in this world is there. Does not matter that this should be very pleasing touch. It can be painful, even though you will say that I am alive because of that touch, because of that. So that one is the second one. Contact with outer world, contact beyond your body, even touch by yourself. So when your hand touched to another hand, that is also contact, gives us some kind of feeling, sensation in your life, in body. That is also, Sariputta Bhante explained, it is also nutriment, nutritions for survival. What contact is. Third one is mental violation. All the thoughts arise in your mind. Everything what arises in your mind, mano sanchetana, So Supreme Buddha explained that your thoughts is your actions, karma, and whatever we do in our day-to-day life, is everything arise in our mind first. All things arise. If you don't think anything, what will happen? If you do not have the consciousness, or if you do not have any thoughts in your mind, then you cannot work in this world. So understanding that everything arises in your mind, mano pubbangama dhamma, mano siddha manomaya, mind, all the things arise in this mind, and whatever arises in his mind, that mind is the measure of all these things. So the Manasa Chetana, mind is a nutriment. The thoughts arise in the mind is a nutriment. We survive because of that. Then Sariputta Bhante explained, the fourth one is consciousness. So based on the mental thoughts, we create the consciousness, we give the identification. We notice this is happiness, this is pain, this is suffering, this is pleasure. We develop the consciousness, we develop the craving toward it. We try to dislike this. We develop hatred because of that consciousness. Sariputta Bhante explained this consciousness is also nutriment for us. We are surviving, we are sustaining, we are alive, we are traveling in this world because of this consciousness. So the four kinds of food is there. One is that we eat all the supplements that we take, the fluids and the whatever we eat. Doesn't matter. You take in the syringe also, the saline or everything. Those are all the physical food. That is called the first. Second one is called the contact. Whatever we touch in surrounding, that is the second one, contact. Third one is mano sanchetana. All the thoughts arise in your mind. Mental violation. Everything is there, whatever comes in your mind. That. And fourth one is consciousness. The vijnana, which creates this whole body. So these four kind of food, Sariputta Bhante explained, understanding, knowing the origin of this food, understanding the cessation of this nutriment. With the rising of craving, there is a rising of nutriment. With the cessation of craving, there is cessation of nutriment. If someone gets rid of craving, then he gets rid of the nutriment also. Then the way leading to the cessation of nutriments is just the Noble Eightfold Path. That is right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, and right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. These are right Noble Eightfold Path. So this food exists in us because of craving. When you are hungry, what is that? It is also craving, that you want to live, that you eat, that is craving. We are craving for physical touch. We are craving for thoughts. We are craving for vijnana, consciousness. We are craving for that. That is the origin. That the craving is the one who creates us. If we get rid of craving, then we get rid of this food also. And what is the path to get rid of the craving? Is the Noble Eightfold Path. Sariputta Bhante explained, when the noble disciple has thus understood nutriments, the origin of nutriments, the cessation of nutriments, and the way leading to the cessation of nutriments, he entirely abandons the underlying tendency of greed. He abolished the underlying tendency of aversion. He extirpates the underlying tendency of the view and conceit, I am. And by abandoning ignorance and arousing the true knowledge, he here and now makes an end of suffering. In that way, too, the noble disciple is one of right view. So, person when completely understands what is the food for a person, nutriment, how he's sustaining. 4 ways he's sustaining in this world, existing in this world because of 4 ways. Understand why this food is there, because of craving. Origin is there, the craving. Then what is the cessation of this craving? There exists cessation of craving, and there is noble eightfold path which leads to cessation of craving. Sariputta Bhante explained, when someone completely understands that, realize that, then he destroy this lust, hatred and delusion. He get rid of, Sammādiṭṭhi, Vichikicha. Then the person comes to the right path, comes to the right view, completely believe, or comes to the unshakable confidence on Dhamma. So this is the second way. First one we talk that someone understand wholesome and unwholesome, roots of wholesome and unwholesome. Second one, someone understands the food, comes to the comes to the realization of food, its origin, cessation, path leads to cessation. Someone understands this food, that person is also comes with the right view. This is the second one. Understanding the food is little bit difficult, little bit hard for us, but if once we try to have that, then slowly, one by one, we can do it. Like same thing, like we do whenever we feel that, whenever we want to gain a weight or lose weight, how we become conscious about that? In same, because idea, the goal or motto is there that I want to get some weight, I want to lose some weight. For that, I have to follow this diet. So how much we become conscious, how much we become aware of that, same way you have to do with this too. Same way you have to work on that. So, any questions regarding this?
Yeah, Bante. So definitely food is one of the right views that Bante Sariputta mentioned. So as long as there is no attachment, okay.
Yes.
So yeah, because the root of everything is the craving, clinging and the craving.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
Bante, yeah, I just want to ask. There are 2 concepts that I always thought that maybe should be included in the right view, but never mentioned. One is impermanence, the concept of impermanence, and the other one is no self, okay, non-self. So, do you think that they should be part of the non-view, right view? I mean, sorry, no.
No, the reason is that why impermanent is the nature of this world that we have to realize. Okay, so we can see that in our life, but it does not sustain our support for that. Second one, what you said, that about non-self.
Yeah.
So non-self is the one of the view, Sammādiṭṭhi. So it means this is myself. Once someone comes to the right view, that person automatically comes understanding of non-self. Right view is the one who gives you non-self. Right view is the give you that everything is impermanent. If you don't have the right view, you will never come to the path of impermanent or the non-self.
So they come hand in hand. So it comes
Yes.
with the right view. Okay.
Yes, that is the one. Because the right view is the stream enterer, and stream enterer is that you understand that existence of you and you want to escape from suffering. So the realization is the one of non-self and impermanent.
So regarding the nutriment, the food, so you mentioned about the contact, okay? So there is a contact, and there is the consciousness, and there is the thoughts, the evolution. What about feelings? Are feelings not part of the food? So if we're looking at the dependent origination, the whole thing.
Yes, contact gives the feelings, Feeling you feel outside world, means once a contact happens, then the feeling arises. So that there is mind, manosanchetina, the mental violation is there. It is also the feeling we enjoyed, that one. The consciousness is the gives the idea, okay, you're having the good feeling now, you're having the bad feeling now. So without touch, you cannot have the feeling. Even for food also, without touching that food in your mouth, you cannot taste it. So the feeling is a part of it. It gives all the things. Now you have eat the kablinkara ahara, that your stomach is full. That is the feeling that I am full now. So I think so that is enough for today. Next week we are going to continue this sutta. We're going to discuss more points of that, and one by one we understand. We try to understand, and then once our sutta is entirely done, we will do the revision of it, and we will try to have the direct contact with our day-to-day life. That what can we do? Is because every person is individual person is different. They can concentrate in the different parts. So whatever the suitable way to us to develop more, we have to. All the Sammādiṭṭhi is same. One thing means, if you realize the food, then you have already realized what is wholesome and unwholesome. If you try to take the effort to understand wholesome and unwholesome, already you will come to the understanding of food. So these are all connected because of the result of that. But you have to focus in one particular way. We will going to discuss in the end of our session that how we can relate it one by one in our individual life. Okay.